everyone, and welcome back to NFL Playoff Pick'em. I'm Jake Biggie Mills, and I'm joined, as always, with EJ Samuel. How we doing tonight?
Oh, better than I felt the last couple of days. And this morning, I tell you what. But football, excited, happy, and it's not
True.
11 o'clock.
That
So
is true. Yes, it is a little early. We did film really late last week, but we're a little bit earlier this time. So
an hour earlier.
yeah, yeah,
And
and that makes a big difference. It really does.
I'd be asleep in the next 40 minutes if you didn't say we got to do this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because we're
Guess
filming
what?
this day before.
We normally aren't this late, folks, but I promise you we'll be just as entertaining with our picks this week. I promise.
Of course, as always. All right, so let's have a look back at last week. So I am 6-4 now. I
I
got
took a fall.
yeah, a little bit. Um, the only game that I got wrong was the Lions over the Commanders. I got all the other ones right. EJ, you're 7-3 now. The only one that you got wrong was the Lions and Commanders, but you also said that the Chiefs would win by at least 20.
Mhm.
Which, they won, but it was a very, very competitive game, which was good to see. And then Zach, he went 7-3. The only one he got wrong was the Texans and the Chiefs. He had the Texans beating the Chiefs. He had the Commanders beating the Lions. So that was a good pick from him. Jake Jones, the only one he got wrong, he's at 7-3 as well. He got the Lions and Commanders wrong. And then your brother, well, he's in last now. He's at 5-5.
Told you, man, he's an optimist.
Yeah, he picked
He's an
he got
optimist.
two of them wrong. He picked the Ravens to beat the Bills, and then he picked the Lions to beat the Commanders. So he's down in last. I'm in I'm in you know second because there's a three-way tie for first right now between you, Zach, and Jake Jones. And Jake Jones hasn't sent in his picks yet. They'll be on the screen and post edit when we get to that. So let's go through the other people's picks first. So um Zach, these are his picks for the divisional round. He thinks the Commanders are going to beat the Eagles and the Bills are going to beat the Chiefs. And then Isaiah has the Commanders over the Eagles and the Bills beating the Chiefs. And then here's Jake Jones' picks on the screen. There it is. Again, in post, edit in post.
I did the I did the hand motion before, and now I'm just gonna look like a fruit ball. There you go.
Yeah.
Man, I jumped the
Yeah.
gun.
A little
Don't
bit.
jump.
A little bit.
Don't be too early.
Nope.
Don't
Can
ever
never
be
be
too
too
early.
early. Nope. All right, so let's get into our picks. Let's get
Yeah,
started here. We got some intriguing matchups. Ones that I
we
think at the
do.
beginning of the playoffs we didn't really expect. So let's get into it here. I want you to go first, DJ, and you could start off since you're the Stillers guy and you got your gear on. Start with our AFC
Oh,
Championship game.
not Stellar's game. It's Froggy 101
I
mode.
meant I meant the hat. I meant the hat.
Oh, I was gonna say no. This is Froggy
Yeah, that's
101.
Froggy 101, of course. Yes, always
Of
got to
course.
rep Froggy. But I was talking about the
Gotta.
hat.
Oh, of course. Well, the hat. Oh, this is the warm hat that I have. Let me sit up here. I gotta turn some lights on, get it going. I was chilling for a little bit. I had
Yeah.
to just relax because boy was it a crazy day at work today. But AFC Championship game. Well, we've seen this game before, Jake, haven't we?
Yeah, a lot. A
A
lot.
lot.
A
And
lot.
every single time, the team that was supposed to win and deserved to win didn't win.
Uh-huh. And the
Yeah,
playoffs specifically.
playoffs specifically. Uh, and let's just be real. I really want Buffalo to win it. I'm gonna come out straight out and say it. Josh Allen, I want you to get it, man. I really do. I'm so sick of this freaking Patrick Mahomes and all this Taylor Swift, and you and I talked about it earlier.
Yep,
Just
we did.
like that whole thing. It's giving me a headache just thinking about it. I'm just saying a quick prayer. Josh Allen, save us, Josh Allen. If you can
Save
hear me right
us.
now, save us, Josh Allen. Because I don't think I could take a three-peat. I
No,
honestly
I
don't
don't
think I
think
could take a three-peat.
anyone in America can unless they're a Chiefs fan.
And honestly, unless you're a Chiefs fan, I would say it's arguably bad for the league. Is
Yeah.
you start losing people.
Yeah,
I
you
know a
do.
ton of
And
people who left after the Patriots won and won and won
yeah, they
and
stopped
won and won.
watching because of the
They
same
just
thing.
stopped watching it. Because
Hmm.
why would I watch the same thing? So I hope this game is not as terribly refed as the other game was, the Houston game, because oh my God,
That
was
was
that
bad.
terrible?
That was really bad. That
Ah,
roughing the passer call was absolutely insane when he slid.
absolutely horrendous, absolutely multiple calls. But
Uh-huh.
listen, I think what you're going to see here is I think you're going to see the Chiefs squeak away with another one. They
Okay.
are going to do it. They are going to do it. I'm sorry. The Bills could play a damn near perfect game, folks. They could
Hmm.
play a damn near perfect game, but the referees in the NFL and the NFL as a league itself has not shown me any improvements, has not shown me anything else, and given me any reason to believe that they aren't going to absolutely rig this game in some way, shape, or form for the
Right.
Kansas City Chiefs.
And
Josh Allen could be fantastic. That's it.
yeah, and I can
But
agree with you on that with, the way that the Chiefs games are officiated and, certain things going their way, and it's
and you
not
can't
even,
argue it either.
no, you
You can't
can't.
argue it. It
You
is
can't.
there. It's
It
not even
is.
like America's split because some of them want them to win, some of them
Yeah,
don't.
no,
No, this
it
is
is
straight
there.
up. This is happening.
Yeah,
This is happening for
you see
years.
it. That's the thing. Like, this is not just people hating on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs because they're, the high and mighty glory of the NFL. This is proof right here. We're seeing calls. There are analysts talking about this. High up people on ESPN, on the debate shows, all that stuff, talking about how Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are being, I don't know, bailed out, basically.
Wait.
We're seeing it happen. Like, it is more prominent every week. It has been throughout the entire year. And you know
Now,
what? It's not good. But I, I agree with everything, but I'm still taking the Bills. And here's my reason.
I
Here's,
I don't blame you. They're a
yeah,
damn good team.
they
And
are
they
a really,
honestly,
really good team. And Josh
no matter
Allen
how
is
this,
just,
yeah, and no matter how this game goes, go ahead.
mhm,
After, like, no matter how this game goes, the Bills probably play a good enough game to beat the Chiefs. It's just, do they beat the Chiefs?
the refs. Yeah, the
Yeah.
refs. Do they beat the refs? Now, listen, I think personally that I'm saying I'm picking the Bills. That's my pick. But it's going to be a tight game. This is just, two great teams going at. I'm going to say the Chiefs are a good team. They are. Pat Mahomes is really good, but I don't like the way, and I kind of see this. He knows he's being coddled, and
See the one
everyone's,
where he went out of bounds?
yeah, he knows this is happening. He's taking full advantage of that, and I just, I
Got
hate
this
that as
wrong.
a football fan. It's just not. It's not.
Wrong.
It's ruining the game. But I think the Bills are going to outplay the Chiefs to the point where calls won't even matter. And that was the point I want to bring up. They are going to.
Really?
I think they outplay the Chiefs to a point
Okay,
where
Jake.
if there's bad calls, it won't even matter. I think it's going to be a one-score game. I could be wrong. It could be a lot closer than that, but I feel like this is a game where we're going to see the calls not play a factor in the final score. I think the Bills, I mean, we saw it in the regular season, but that's how it goes every year. I get it. I know. Every year. Bills beat them in the regular season, Chiefs win and go to the Super Bowl. I get it. But something's different about Josh Allen this year. He has just been
Mm,
he's been good. Don't get me wrong, all these past couple years, but there is something different about him this year. He is on fire, and I think
he
the Bills
is
make the Super Bowl.
he is your MVP, folks. And if the
Yep.
NFL
Gives it
screws
to
that
Lamar.
up like just like they screw up the Defensive Player of the Year and give it to Myles Garrett every year, if even if they screw it up just that bad, folks, ready?
Hmm.
Just like for the past couple of years, minus this year, TJ Watt was the actual Defensive Player of the Year. Josh Allen is the most valuable player in this league. He's better than Mahomes. I'm telling you right now, he's better than Mahomes. He just doesn't get the help Mahomes gets.
That's the thing.
You know,
That's the thing.
and also in the first 2 years, didn't have the team around him like Mahomes has had.
And
Just saying.
to be quite honest with you, I I don't think the Bills even have, like, they have a good team, obviously. There's some good guys, good weapons for them, but
They're not the Los Angeles Dodgers of football,
no,
though.
no, absolutely not. No.
Exactly.
Josh Allen's
So
working with, like, here's an argument I always make, for an MVP candidate debate, like an MVP winner. Josh Allen, I think, is way more valuable to his team than Lamar is. Josh Allen is very valuable to the Buffalo Bills.
oh,
If they didn't have
absolutely.
him, they'd be they would honestly probably be barely a wild card team, not even.
Yeah,
I
it's not like
think.
they have. You can't even point to Diggs anymore. He's not
No,
there.
he's not there. Right, he's not
Who's
even
their
there.
number? I don't even know who. I can't even off the top of my head think of who their number one receiver is. Can't
I don't
even
even
think of
think
it.
it's
I
a
don't even know.
receiver. I think his number one target is a tight end.
Kincaid,
Is it
maybe? Is he still
Kincaid?
there?
I
Is
yeah,
Dalton Kincaid even still there?
yeah, but I
Point stands. Point
yeah.
stands. Jake, you're 100% right.
Yeah. So
100%.
so that's why I think the Bills are going to win this and go to the Super Bowl. That's my pick
Love to
right
see
there.
it. Really,
I would love all of
Buffalo,
America would love to see it.
rooting for you. Rooting for you,
Yes,
Buffalo.
big
Josh
time.
Allen,
Big
love you,
time.
brother. Hope you do it.
Yes. And now, do you want me to go first on our NFC championship game?
Yeah, go ahead and be a homer. Go ahead. Go ahead. I egged you on the entire time I was at the casino on Saturday. Go
I
ahead.
know, I know, I know. And man,
What'd you
this
say,
is
Jake?
did,
What did you say last
I
week?
said the Commanders were going to lose and I said I wasn't sold on them. I know.
Yeah. I'm not sold on the Commanders because I'm an Eagles fan
Yeah,
and I don't like
well,
the Commanders.
I
You know
never
that's
had a
true.
problem with the Commanders. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never did.
No, you know that's
I just
true, Jake.
I'm going off what I saw. I don't think not a lot of people expected the Commanders to beat the Lions. Let's be honest there.
No, but you were dissing them before they even had to play the Lions.
Yeah, I was. I'll admit a little bit. I was.
You
It,
were. No, a
but
little bit.
you know,
Okay.
yeah, but I really don't know. This is a game that is tough for me to pick, honestly, because I just I don't know if I can go off the regular season. I don't know if I can go off my arguments for the Eagles winning this game. And I'm going to pick the Eagles. I'm going to. I just think they're, you know, Jaden Daniels is fantastic. Let's not put that away. He is amazing. He shocked me. You know how much I've talked about the Commanders not being sold on them. I didn't think they're going to win the first round. I mean, he's unreal. He is so good, and that connection he has with Terry McLaurin is just, it's great.
Scary Terry.
Yeah, it's really really good. But do I think experience is going to play a factor? Now, the Eagles still, yeah, Saquon Barkley hasn't had much playoff experience, but I don't think that matters in the way he's playing, let's be honest. Jalen
Uh-huh.
Hurts has been to a Super Bowl. Um, Nick Sirianni, he's coached the Super Bowl. Just go down their roster. I mean, sure they have some younger guys in there and some guys that didn't weren't on that team, but you have a quarterback who's been to a Super Bowl. You have Saquon Barkley. That defense is playing lights out kinda. I think the offense is still a little bit behind. I think the defense is helping us tremendously. The Eagles helping the Eagles tremendously, especially these last two games. Something still seems off of the pass game. I will admit it does. The run game though, oh, it's fantastic. The way that we executed on the ground on Sunday was, whew, chef's kiss. It really was. But do I think the Commanders? I think their offense is really good. Their defense has been playing well, obviously, too. I mean, they had a couple big takeaways against the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
But do I think they're going to be able to stop our our run game? I don't know. I think they're definitely going to have some big plays on defense. I think that they're going to. I think Jalen Hurts throws a pick. That's a prediction I'm putting out there right there. He throws a pick. He does. He's going to. I'm calling that right now.
I'll double down on it.
Okay. Yeah, that's
I'll
fair
double
enough.
down.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen.
I think the Commanders are going to have a takeaway or two, absolutely. But I think experience is going to play a factor in this game. And if the Commanders win, I won't be shocked. I really won't be. I'll actually kind of be happy, because obviously it would
They
suck to.
deserve it, dude. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
right.
They just
I agree
do.
with you. As much as I diss them, they absolutely deserve it. That organization deserves it. If they make the Super Bowl in Jaden Daniels' rookie year in their first year without Dan Snyder, it's incredible. It's a fantastic story. It would suck to see my team go down, obviously, with that level of talent, not make the Super Bowl. But it'd be
Right.
really
Just
nice to
like
see.
Penn State.
Yeah, right.
Just
Good
like
point.
Penn State.
Good point. And you know, I have to take the Eagles though. I think the experience is going to play a factor. But it's going to be a very, very close game. It's not going to be like how it was in the regular season, like that argument I've
Mm.
been making for the last 2 weeks. You know how I kept saying, "Oh, look at how we played," until Jalen Hurts went down in the game at Washington that we lost, and then the first game we won pretty. I mean, it was a closer game, but still, like we looked like the way better team. This is a hot Commanders team. It's going to be a close game, but I'm taking the Birds still to make the Super Bowl. I just think experience is going to play a factor. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles lost because if Jalen Hurts is still not 100%, which again he did not look like it, it's
Mm.
it's it's going to be a struggle a little bit. It's going to be a very tight game. It might come down to a Jake Elliott field goal, and I trust Jake Elliott kicking a field goal more than an extra point. If you know, you know.
Right. Right. Jake, any other thoughts on the Eagles Commanders before I
That's it.
Put
That's
my
my
coin
prediction.
out.
That's all I had to say. I want to hear what you have to say. I'm very curious because I might be the only one here picking the birds.
Taking the Commanders.
Okay, valid.
Now, listen, folks. Let me take the matter of fact. Let me take the Steelers hat off. Hair is absolutely a mess. Look at that
Oh,
right now.
oh,
Absolutely a mess. Matter of
oh,
fact, let's put a brim on. There we go. Cool.
yeah,
All right. So look, I've Jake can attest to this. I watched football. I've seen tons of football games.
yes,
Tons. Probably more than the person who's watching this video. Hi. I've probably watched more football than you.
I
And I'm
agree with
not
that.
saying that as like a guy who's like, I know everything, but I've seen a lot,
Hmm.
and I've gotten a chance to learn and take in. Hey, that team did this, and how would they do against this team? And it's a lot of that's what I mean, I called football. That was part of my job on the radio. That's how I got my start in radio. Was doing
Right?
football, and
Yeah,
that was one
calling
of the
football
main
games.
jobs
Yep.
is thinking about those hypotheticals. I watched the whole game, the Eagles whole game against the Rams, and I think they did well in some aspects, and then there are some aspects they had holes. One of which was when the Rams offense was moving at a fast pace. The Eagles got to buckle down on that.
Yeah.
Washington has one of the fastest offenses in the league, not only on the field, but they can move down. If you give them a minute, Jaden Daniels is going to become one of the new Aaron Rodgers, where you
Yeah.
give him a minute and it feels like you gave him 4 minutes to drive the field. So Matthew Stafford, at that end, you saw the ending of the Eagles game.
Yep.
I
On the
couldn't
edge of my
help but
seat.
kept watching, and they kept inching forward, and they kept inching forward, and all the Eagles' big star defense had to do was stop them. All they had to do was stop them,
Mhm.
and they had their backs up again. They were inside the 20.
Yeah. I
If
I
it was a
was.
field goal, if it was a game where a field goal would have won it,
They would have lost.
they would have lost that game,
I agree.
folks.
I agree with you
And if
100%.
Washington, if that is Jaden Daniels and Washington, the Eagles lose that game last week. And look who what we've got. Now the table is set to see how the Eagles' big buff fancy defense does with more experience against a fast team like Jaden Daniels. You'll notice sometimes they don't even need to call a play. They'll have the plays already memorized and ready to go. I haven't seen that from a rookie quarterback,
I was gonna
Jake.
say we're talking about a rookie quarterback here. We're talking
We're
about a
talking about a guy,
rookie
a
quarterback.
rookie.
Like unreal.
I recall I recall hearing from some of my friends who are close to the Steelers that Ben Roethlisberger, who's a Hall of Famer, no doubt,
Yes.
took him 4 and 5 years to be able to do stuff like that, like off the noggin. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I say all of that to say this: the Eagles are going to struggle. They're going to struggle early. They're going to get it together in the middle, and they're going to struggle late.
Mm.
I
Okay.
think if it's any other team, they could pull it out. I think Washington's too fast for him. I honestly do. I honestly do. Uh, because let me tell you something. I don't care who your quarterback was the last time Washington beat y'all. How did it end?
We lost.
You lost.
Hmm.
You lost on a pretty much last second thing, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
On a pretty much last second
I
thing.
remember watching
And I
that
know
game.
there was a cup. I know there was an injury or two on that defense, but a lot of your main defensive guys were still there.
Oh yeah, the guys that make plays were there. Yeah.
Exactly. So this is going to happen. And until the Eagles find a solution to Jaden Daniels driving the field like he does every single time you're going to play him
Yeah.
from here, well, from the beginning of this past year that we just had to the end of his career, you're going to have to find a way. I just don't think they're going to do that. I just do not. I think he's too fast. I just think he's too fast. It makes too much sense for the rookie to go. Dan Snyder's gone. The NFL proves a point. Washington makes it in their first year. I'm so sorry. The Eagles, listen, the Eagles are going to a Super Bowl within the next 5 years. If they
I
don't
give him
do it
three.
this year, in the next 5 years, I give them five. I give
Okay.
them five. Honest to God, I do. I give them five. And they could be twice in the next 5 years. Got a
Hmm.
damn good defense. They really, honest to God, do.
As long as we keep Vic Fangio around.
But they just they're going to struggle against Washington. I'm not saying it's going to be a beatdown, but it's
Right.
going to be those little plays. If it was anybody else, if it wasn't even Matt Stafford, if it was Jaden Daniels under the center of the Rams, throwing to Puka Nakua and all that stuff,
Hmm.
they're winning that game. Jaden Daniels too explosive. He is too explosive, and he might come down to earth next year and have a sophomore slump like Kenny did.
Yeah.
But
And like
like
Miles Sanders did too.
Miles Sanders did the same thing.
Yeah, with the
Chase
Eagles.
Claypool
Uh-huh.
did
Chase
the same
Claypool,
thing.
yes, that's another one. Uh-huh.
Out of the gate, explosive player, almost a best-selling jersey, almost like in the running for this guy's the real deal, and then he might
Yeah.
flatten out. But let me tell you something, he is not flattened out yet. They're gonna have a hard time. So I'm gonna say Washington's gonna win this game. They
All
they
right.
they are just going to win this game. And honest to God, if the Eagles do, listen, the NFC East and the AFC North are the two chippiest divisions in the NFL.
Yeah.
You cannot, nobody, you cannot argue with me on that. I'll beat you every time. Jake, the NFC East fan, can tell you every single one of those teams, they would rather see another opponent in their division lose than have themselves win,
Yeah.
right? The
I can agree.
Steelers
Yeah.
have done the same thing in the AFC North. Those two are the nastiest divisions in the entire league.
Well, yeah,
I
because you
remember the
got
one year you remember the year the Eagles lost on purpose to keep the Giants out of the playoffs?
Yep, I do. I do. We put Nate Sudfeld in. I remember that. I remember watching that game. I was
Everybody
like
remembers that
I
stuff.
was like, you know what? I'm very mad that we lost this game and, Doug Peterson's gonna go and Carson Wentz is out. Well, he was hurt by then, right? That was the year we
I think
traded
so,
him,
yeah.
wasn't it?
I
Yeah,
believe so.
I believe it was. So like seeing that team, the Super Bowl team and the Super Bowl thing that I was sold on. I used to be a Carson Wentz fanboy. I used to love him. And
I love
like
Carson Wentz.
seeing his
He's actually
downfall
a
just
solid dude.
really just made me upset. Like when we got rid of him, I was really sad because I still thought he had more left in him. But
I
that
think
was a
he did
while
too.
ago.
I
Yeah.
think he did too.
The
And
Eagles
I'm
moved
sorry, I
on
think
from him too
Philadelphia
quick.
Philadelphia did him wrong. The city quit on him. He got
Yeah,
hurt.
I know.
It's not like he said, I want to leave. I hate
Yeah,
Philadelphia,
no,
blah, blah,
they
blah.
quit on him.
He was
Yeah,
there.
I
They
agree.
quit on him.
I agree. And
I don't like
it
that.
it pained me. It really did. Like I was really upset because I loved Carson Wentz. I still root for him, even though he's on the Chiefs. I still do.
Mhm.
I was hoping that game where Mahomes sat out, he'd win. Unfortunately, it was pretty bad, but
Nah,
yeah. But yeah, no,
you can only do so much.
I can agree with your pick though. I can see what you're saying. I absolutely agree. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if they did lose this game. Quite frankly, I literally wouldn't. And you know what? It'd be kind of nice to see that story, even though it's another NFC East opponent and it's not Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts playing for a Super Bowl. I
Mhm.
would be happy to see that story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be a nice thing, and even for
It's an
them to
odd
make it this far.
comparison. Now that I think about it, it's a very odd comparison, but the way the game that I think about, because I know we have a lot of other local fans, two games
Yes,
that I think about this as far as remember the first Cleveland Pittsburgh game that was a Thursday night on the sun with the snow?
yes.
This is that game for the Eagles. I'm telling you. A
Hmm.
game that they should win. They should beat Washington. It's only one guy. Well, that one guy goes off
Yeah.
and they should beat them, but they don't beat them. And it's like heartbreaking because it's like, dang it, we should have.
I was gonna say
This
this is a
should
team we should
be
beat. This is a team we should beat, especially
not saying that
you know
the Cleveland was in no shape bad at that point
no,
either. They were not bad. They were not out of the playoffs or anything,
no.
but we should be beating them, right?
Right, that's a team that you should not be losing to. Right.
Exactly.
It was like the
Like if
regular
you're the
season
Jets,
Commanders game.
if you're a Jets fan, you compare yourself to the Jets Steelers game. The Steelers were really not that good. The Jets were pretty decent at that point. They should not have lost that game. This is a team we should be beating, but we're not because we weren't didn't come prepared for that one guy who happened to be Beanie Bishop of all people. If you're a Giants fan, same freaking thing. The first game against Washington, we didn't know anything about them yet. They
Right,
were
yeah.
fresh off. We should be beating them. They're in a rebuild. They're in a bigger rebuild than we are at the moment right now.
Yeah, and then
Obviously,
the
that's
Steelers
not been the
are
case now.
well, the Steelers
You
don't
know?
want to rebuild. They think they don't have to.
No, and they're stupid. They need to build around Fields right now.
I
But
agree with
that's
that.
a topic for another video. But regardless, no matter what team, every team this year has that game.
Hmm.
Fortunately for the Eagles, it's going to be that game.
It's this one. Yeah.
This is a team we should be beating them, but we're going to fall short because we didn't come prepared
Yeah.
for this one guy who we knew was going to torch us, right?
Yeah. I know what you're saying, and I can agree with you. Even though I'm picking the birds, I agree with you. I do
And I think
100%.
your pick, you're going to look like a genius if
If
they
they
win.
win, right?
And there's
Yeah,
no, this is
right.
that's a low risk, high reward thing for you.
It is, and I'm also a little bit biased towards my team, a little bit.
Obviously. But, if I wasn't so pissed at the Steelers, I might have taken them to beat the Ravens. And we all know
Right.
how wrong I would have been,
Yeah, right.
But
Yeah,
just again, folks, this really comes down to being prepared and not repeating the same mistakes. The Eagles repeat mistakes a lot, unfortunately. When they get it
sadly,
down,
yeah,
it's good. When it's great, it's good. It's awesome.
yeah,
But it takes them a couple of times. They get burned a couple of times. I think they're going to continue to get burned here until they're going to have to figure Jaden Daniels out because he is going to be a problem for the rest.
absolutely.
This is going to be a serious. I don't think he's one of those players that slumps. Obviously, there's the possibility, but I just don't think
He's
he's
gonna be
he's
one
really
of
good.
them. Yeah, I
He's
agree.
very good.
I agree.
Maybe Bob Nutting should take a page out of Dan Snyder and sell the team, get rid of it. Maybe the Pirates will start winning in baseball too.
Yeah,
Who
maybe
knows?
try. They should try it out. They should try it out. But
Bob, we're talking to you, pal. Sell. See ya.
sell. Oh man. Well, yeah. So that's dude. We're coming towards the end of the show, man.
Yeah.
Like
Then we get our Super Bowl picks, and then we get the Super Bowl recap that we
and
do.
that's it.
Right.
And then we see you
That's it.
guys next season. Wow, that's
Next
crazy.
season.
Wow. But yeah, so right now, I don't know. Obviously, you saw it before. I'm the only one that picked the Eagles. Everyone else has picked the Commanders. Jake Jones hasn't sent his in yet. They'll be on the screen. You know that. But yeah, so that's it. We'll see how our picks hold up, and yeah, we'll see you
Yeah.
guys next Sunday for our Super Bowl picks.
Heck yeah, brother.
See you guys.
Later.